Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. My name's Nate, and I came over today to cook a burger on the flat top. So the first thing we got to do is get this baby to the right temperature. I like to get it to about 350, 375. If I'm cooking a whole meat steak, I'm going to be more like 400, 425. Gives you a nice sear, makes it not stick to the grill, and those burgers and those meats will turn out just like you like them. Nice and juicy in the middle. See, right now we got a few degrees to go here. We're only about 275, 280. We're creeping up a little at a time here. As soon as we get there, we'll get some oil down in the grill and get going. So first thing we want to do is get this baby nice and dried up, get all the old oil and butter off of there. I see if you're using butter to toast your buns, you can go a little bit lighter on the grill. It can be more like 300 degrees, 325. But to cook a burger and cook meat, you're going to want to stay away from the butter. That burning temperature is going to be a little bit lower than a nice oil blend. Oil blend will make it a little bit easier for you to cook that meat on the grill. I'll show you another quick, neat tip to know when your grill's ready to go. We use a water test here. We got about 300 degrees right now. You see that water just sits in one spot, kind of bubbles out and evaporates. When we get our grill up to temperature, we'll do the same thing again and show you the difference what that water looks like. All right, so here's what's happening. I got my burger out, we got our grill up to temperature. And one of the things that's very important about meat when you're cooking on the grill is that you leave it alone once you put it on the grill. You'll see a lot of people want to smash it out, make it bigger, or try to chop into it. And one of the ways we're going to keep from having to do that is before we put our patty on the grill, we're going to kind of refirm those edges up while we push down in the center. So technically what you end up with is a burger that's fatter on the edges than it is in the center. That's important for two reasons. That's going to help us know when it's time to flip the burger, and as this burger shrinks down and gets fattened back up in the middle, it'll keep a nice uniform size. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. You see that we got that a little bit skinnier in the middle than it is out on the edges. Then cut that. All right, we spanked our patty with seasoning. Now we got to get it on the grill and get it cooking. As I said, we got our temperature up. One way you can double check that temperature is with that water test again. Remember we showed you evaporating before. See now kind of dancing across. See the little tiny beads of water. The bigger pools move across there. They don't stay in one spot quite as well as when it was a lighter temperature. We can take our oil. I have 100% canola oil right here. It's got a nice high burning temperature, so that gives us enough room on the griddle to go ahead. See, nice little quarter size spot. That'll start spreading out on its own. Put that patty down right in the middle of it. Now when you're cooking a burger patty on a flat top grill, you only want to flip it one time. So you get it in your oil on your spot, you can hear that sizzle, you can hear the pitch of that sizzle. That really tells you you got the right temperature on the grill. As this cooks, the temperature is warming up. Once you can feel the back of that burger a little bit warmer, that tells us it's time to flip it. And that's going to give us a nice medium well burger. When it comes off the grill, it's going to be nice and juicy in the middle. You'll be able to cut that in half to see it completely cooked and still have the juice flowing out of that burger. We want to reach back to our seasoning blend here for St. Ambrose burger. We always use Montreal because we love the big, bold profile that this offers. We talked a little bit about those flakes of crystals and big chunks of pepper. It really creates a bold flavor profile that can cut through the bun, and you get your lettuce and tomato and all your goodies on your burger. You want to make sure you still have those little bursts of flavor that come from these giant chunks of seasoning. If you're not a Montreal seasoning person, another thing you consider is a high-end kosher salt. Big flakes. Again, you want to spread them out from high above your burger so you get an even coat on your meat. And of course, ground black pepper, you can also grind it yourself right on top of that burger. And just that combination of salt and pepper, it's the American home run for a hamburger. If you got a good meat, if you start with a good meat and you finish it with those bold spices, you're gonna get a great burger every time. Again, going back to our burger patty on the grill here, you can see how this is already plumping up and getting fat in the center. We talked about keeping those a little bit thinner. My process here that we're talking about is designed around 80-20 burger blend, meaning it's 80% lean, 20% fat. So if you get a leaner blend, if you like it to be a little bit leaner, you're going to get less shrinkage. That's going to change how skinny that it needs to be in the middle and how fast it cooks. It's going to cook much faster. If you are a little bit fatter on that blend, you can see it's going to shrink up quick. You're going to get a little bit more residual oil around the burger. And so keep that in mind when you're choosing your burger blend. The typical off-the-shelf burger is supposed to be 80-20. You can get it customized for what you like, and that is going to change how your burger cooks. So we got our burger just about ready to get flipped. You can see as it's cooking up, you'll see it coming up the side of the patty itself. And then what I'm doing is just monitoring that on the back of that patty. As soon as that starts to feel warm in the center, we're going to go ahead and grab it with our turner, flip that baby over. You see a nice sear, see some of those seasonings maybe blackening up a little bit. And what that does is trap all the juices inside of that burger. Now we flipped it over. We're ready to add our toppings, whatever cheese we want to have on that. By the time any toppings are warmed and cheese is melted, we're going to have a medium well burger. So we talked a little bit about that patty getting fat. You can see we got a football shape here. I obviously didn't get that one skinny enough in the middle. So we have to counter that by cooking it a little bit longer on this side before we top it. You can see still some red right here in the bottom end of that patty. That'll cook up. You'll also see it's running still red. That will start to run out clear once we got our right temperature, what we're looking at. So you can see this right here, cooking out of the burger. Sometimes you'll see it coming out of the top a little bit red. Again, we don't want to poke that and let it out. We want it to cook out the side. And that will run clear just like chicken when we get our right temperature. So on a typical burger, we get it just how we like it. We flip it over. Once we get it flipped, it's time to go ahead and get our toppings on there, our bacon, our mushrooms, our cheese. This particular cheese we have right here is from Kerrygold. It's a Dubliner. It's a nice Irish cheddar. It's going to add a little bit of a crusty salt. Again, nice flavor bursts when you bite into those little chunks of salt and those hefty seasoning blends from that Montreal that we put on there. All right, now here's a spot where I do love to use butter on a flat top grill, and that's because every sandwich should have a toasted bun. No butter, no toast, no taste. So we're going to take this great brioche bun from St. Ambrose, brush it with a little all-natural grass-fed butter. We're going to hit it right over here on the grill where we're about 325. That's going to take about a minute to toast up. I'll show you real quick something we got going on right here. We noted that burger was getting fat because we thought it might have had a little extra content in there. And as it's cooking out, you see two things: the burger getting smaller, and then you see this ring around the burger where it looks like it's more toasted, not quite burning, but more toasted than the other spots. And that's the fat cooking out of that burger. It's squirting out the sides and spraying around. And you can see that that fat from the burger has a much lower burning temperature even than our canola that we're using to cook the burger in. If everything went well, you should be able to clean up your grill with just a little shot of water. Don't get your hand over there while it's got too much on it, that steam will burn you. So scrape right clean. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it looks pretty juicy. I don't think I'm going to share this one with you, Kurt.